second round of the NBA playoffs begins tonight on Monday, May the 4th, and I've got a deep dive insight into both games from Monday night. 76ers Knicks, Timberwolves Spurs, side, total player props, and also an overall series outlook. Deep dive information and free plays coming up for Monday Night NBA right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And as I did in the complete NBA first round, I will continue to give you every NBA playoff game free here in the second round as well, starting tonight on Monday. All I ask is a quick thumbs up, like, and a positive comment below. I'll keep giving you every NBA playoff game free here on WagerTalk TV. So make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell as well, so you know when the daily NBA plays, and some free baseball videos daily are posted here as well on the channel. All right, let's start with the first game at 8 o'clock Eastern Monday night. This one on NBC National TV, Philadelphia and New York. 76ers overcome a 3-1 series deficit. They get Joel Embiid back. It was not a coincidence that they made the comeback with Embiid back in the lineup. He came back in Game 4. They dropped it. They were down 1-3, and then he got back on track the final 3 games against the Celtics. Boston also shot terrible from three-point range in several of those games. Live by the 3, you die by the 3. And then, of course, not having Jason Tatum in Game 7 didn't help their cause either. With that said, though, the Sixers are a good team now that Embiid is back and healthy, or at least he's been healthy. He got banged up pretty hard in Game 7 on Saturday night. And while on the surface, it might not seem like a very good spot here for the 76ers. Quick turnaround travel, just one day in rest, physical Game 7, while the Knicks have been off for a couple days more after finishing off the Hawks in 6 games. I think Philly might carry some momentum into this one, and the Sixers can keep it close. Line looks inflated to me. I think Philadelphia is a live dog at plus 7.5. Now, the public is leaning towards the Sixers, but hey, as you know, public is not always wrong. So I do agree with this public dog. Line looks inflated. With Embiid in the lineup, Philadelphia is a much better team than their overall seasonal results indicate. And they were above 500 team with him, below 500 team without him. He is back, and as long as he remains healthy, I think this series could go 6 or 7 games as well. Look for a back-and-forth series. The zigzag should work well in this series also. And as far as the total, currently around 213, I think the over might be worth a look in a few of these games. Keep in mind, I thought the Hawks-Knicks series would be higher scoring. A lot of those games landed within a basket one way or other, the total, right around this 213 range. But Atlanta shot very poorly from three-point range. And the Hawks are another team that kind of lives and dies by the three-point shot. Atlanta shot in the low 30% range. The Knicks are still not a great defensive team, and they struggled at times this year against the Sixers, containing them down low. Let's look at those 4 regular season meetings. First thing that jumps out to you is that the road team went a perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread. First 2 games were in New York. Philly won both of them outright by 9 and 11 points. And then the next 2 games in January and February were in Philadelphia. The Knicks won by 3, and they won by, 49 points. 49 points after that. But keep in mind, Embiid missed the first and fourth games in the series. But even without Embiid, Philadelphia won that first game in December, 116-107. And once again, the road team was perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread in all 4 games of the series. The 2 middle games Embiid did play, the Sixers won by 11, and in Game 3, the Knicks did win that game by 3 points on the road while Embiid was in the lineup, and they had a 17-point lead. By the way, the Knicks had a 55-point lead in the most recent meeting, so back-to-back losses. This is a double revenge spot for the Sixers, including a blowout embarrassment in the previous game. But what I want to point out, though, even in that loss in the third game, Philadelphia still had a 50-42 edge in the paints with Embiid, and in the second game that they won by 11 on the road earlier in the season, the Sixers in that game led by 19 at one point and also had a big edge down low, 54-32. So the 2 games in which Embiid was in the lineup, they outscored the Knicks by over 20 points combined inside the paint. I don't think that was a fluke, and as long as Embiid remains healthy in this series, I think the Sixers are a live dog and worth a look at plus 7.5 in Game 1. Also like the over 213 for the same reason I just mentioned. Points in the paint leads to easy baskets, so the Knicks aren't going to have to rely on Atlanta missing threes. Philadelphia is going to score down low more than the Hawks were able to. And also, if Philly does come a little rusty, or not rusty, but hung over from the Game 7 road win, the fatigue might show on the defensive side as well. So Philadelphia plus 7.5, and the over 213, maybe a little bit of a hedge in case the Sixers' wheels do fall off in the second half. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern on NBC. As far as player props here, I did mention Embiid having a nice edge down low in the paint. Nothing else really jumps out to me. Just the overall playoff stats so far. Tyrone Maxey, obviously a big scorer. Paul George, Edgecombe, but with Embiid back in the lineup, those guys, their numbers go down a little bit, although Maxey did have a huge Game 7 on Saturday night. As far as the Knicks, obviously Jalen Brunson does the heavy lifting. Karl Anthony Towns has been a little bit mediocre, just 18.5 points. Another guy, Josh Hart, has not shot well so far in the postseason. He did not shoot well against Atlanta in 6 games, hitting just 22% from three-point range. So if Hart starts to shoot a little bit better, there might be some upside with his props. And Karl Anthony Towns, as I mentioned, has been mediocre. And Newbie, though, has been very strong, 21.5 points. And he's been incredible from three-point range, 57%. He's probably due to correct a bit. So Anunoby down, maybe Hart up if you're looking for zigzag on player props in this series. But we'll kind of take a wait-and-see approach and see how Game 1 plays out. And we'll dig deeper on Wednesday night in that video here for some player props. All right, your other game Monday night starts in the Western Conference at 9:30 Eastern. This is on its NBC Sportsnet, and both games, of course, are on Peacock streaming TV for you. Minnesota Timberwolves, or at least what's left of them, against the San Antonio Spurs. This series looks like a complete mismatch on paper with the current lineups. However, Anthony Edwards was upgraded Sunday to questionable for Monday night's game. I do not expect him to be back. If he is, I do not think he's fully healthy. He was initially supposed to be out for at least 2 weeks with the knee injury he suffered in the middle of the Denver series. That would put him back around Game 4 against the Spurs. But he's been cleared for on-court activity this past weekend. So he's now listed as questionable in the injury report, but I'm not expecting him to go. But hey, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, we'll keep an eye out, see if we see any changes. Without Edwards, the T-Wolves are going to struggle, obviously. But a bigger reason is DiVincenzo's out for the rest of the season, ruptured Achilles from Game 4. And Dosunmu is also banged up. He missed Game 6, and somehow the Nuggets, without those 3 top scorers, were able to beat the Nuggets, or the Timberwolves were able to beat the Nuggets in Game 6 without those 3 players, which is really remarkable and just speaks so poorly for Denver. Ayo Dosunmu, though, is expected to be back. He's been upgraded to probable with the calf injury that set him out of Game 6 last week. So dudes like Dosunmu is going to be back. He, of course, had 43 points without Edwards on the court a couple games ago. Just a monster game, and he's their leading scorer now in the postseason, despite starting just 1 game overall out of the 6. Julius Randle's been decent at times. Edwards, Jaden McDaniels probably worth a look to the over if you're looking for someone to step up. He's got to play a little bit better, though, than he did in the last round, as he shot just 11% from three-point range. 11% from three-point range. He took, I think, 18 threes, and obviously did not make many of them. To say that, I think he was 2 for 18, if I'm not mistaken, against the Nuggets. So there may be some upside with Jaden McDaniels. The problem is, though, the Spurs are so good defensively, and Wemby is healthy. He missed a game. He is back healthy. He also, by the way, missed a game in the regular season, as is often the case with some of these Spurs regular season stats. You have to check to see if Wemby played or not. And even when he wasn't in the lineup this year, they were still a really good team. And also, don't overreact to the regular season results. Not only because Minnesota's missing some of those players. Yes, they won the first 2 games at home late November, mid-January. Then they only lost by 3 at San Antonio in January 17th. But if you dig into those box scores a little bit more, back in the November game, they won 125-112. But as was the case with a lot of these games, they were actually down fairly big. They outscored San Antonio by 17 in the fourth quarter. The Spurs blew a double-digit lead in that game, and they were actually leading outright by 4 heading into the fourth. And then the T-Wolves had a monster fourth quarter back in late November. As far as that game goes, too, Wembanyama did not play, so another reason I wouldn't read too much into that. Julius Randle, 22 points. Edwards, 32 points. DiVincenzo, 18 points. The two of them took 32 shot attempts, had 50 points. Once again, they're both out. Well, Edwards questionable. I'm not expecting him to go. So that first win by Minnesota doesn't really matter too much here. They did beat the Spurs once again 104-103 as a slight favorite back on January 11th. Here again, we dig into the box score. This time the Spurs had Wemby. He had a big game, 29 points, including 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Edwards, 23 points. DiVincenzo, 19 points. They took 37 combined shot attempts. Once again, I don't expect either one of them to be there. By the way, Dosunmu did not play in any of the 3 games before coming over from the Bulls. He did not play in the 3 regular season meetings this year against the Spurs. And once again, Minnesota won that game by 1, the second game of the season, but they were down by 14 entering the fourth quarter. The Spurs actually blew a 19-point lead in that game. And then the final meeting with the Spurs actually won by 3 points, 126-123 in mid-January. their only game at home. Here again, the Spurs were up by 12 entering the fourth quarter, ended up holding on to win by 3. Spurs actually had a 25-point lead in that game. And one thing that really jumps out to me, Anthony Edwards had 55 points, took 33 shot attempts. DiVincenzo 11 points on 14 shot attempts. So the two of them took 47 shot attempts, and DiVincenzo's out for the rest of the year. I'm not expecting Edwards to play. He's listed as questionable, but I don't think he's quite back yet. Hard to see the T-Wolves putting up much of a fight. So if you're going to play it, I would lay it with San Antonio here, minus the 13 in Game 1, as I just don't see them losing Game 1. They're well-rested, and they're a really good team. I know they don't have a ton of playoff experience, but Wembanyama, the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year ever and the youngest ever at 22, and the Spurs were the third most offensive efficient team and the third most defensive efficiency team in the league this year. Oklahoma City was number 1 defense, but only 7th on offense, and they're minus money to win the whole thing. Spurs are 4-1. They're the second overall favorite. This is a really good team. In fact, the Spurs were third in both offense and defense efficiency. No other team was top 6 in both in the league, including the Thunder. So I see San Antonio in this series rather easily unless Edwards gets healthy sooner than later, which does not necessarily, well, it looks like he might return, but I'm not buying it. We'll have to see it first. He's supposed to be out for at least another week or so if you really look at the initial injury diagnosis. Over-under is tough to gauge as well here. It's currently around 217. And player props also obviously depend if Edwards goes or not. If he doesn't go in Game 1, Dosunmu's now been listed as probable, but he's still not 100% healthy after missing Game 6. As I said earlier, Jaden McDaniels is a guy that maybe steps up if he starts shooting better and could have some upside in this series. And as far as the Spurs, usual suspect, with Wemby out there, he's a dominant player, rebounds, and of course points. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, they're going to probably do some heavy lifting as well. They were the top 3 scorers, all averaging 20 points or more this postseason. All right, we'll take a closer look, by the way, at more player props in Games 2 and 3. I always like to kind of see a game first and do a little bit of a zigzag in that one. What are your thoughts? Side, total, player props. Hey, drop them in the comments below. Include some analysis if you have time, so we all learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're liking these videos, I will keep them coming. All I ask is a quick thumbs up like. Click the thumbs up like. Thank you so much. You did it. Took 2 seconds. It was painless. But also make sure you subscribe and you click the bell here on WagerTalk TV so you get an instant alert. You can be the first to watch the free NBA playoff videos every day when I post them here on the channel. Also going to have some free Monday baseball videos, so make sure you check those out here on WagerTalk TV as well. Now, as you know, when I'm giving you a free play, free opinions on sides, totals, player props in every game this postseason, a lot of those are light leans only, right? I'm trying to give you a ton of information here. Sometimes they make my personal best bet card. Now, if you're playing all the light leans, hey, 1% of bankroll is appropriate. But if you want the strong best bets, those are the 4% plays. The games I'm personally using go to my clients every day as well. You get my personal best bets for this Monday night in both basketball and baseball, my strong 4% plays, and get them right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, get that bonus free play. The last cut, just a bit outside from being a best bet, goes up as a bonus free play for everybody every day on my page at WagerTalk.com. So go there right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. And while you're there, check out some great special offers. You know, single plays are $25 per play. A one-day all access, all my plays for one day, just $39. But how about 3 days for just $49? That's right, $10 more and you get 2 more days at it. It's normally $69, dude, for 3 days. Nope. 3 days all access for just $49 right now. No promo code needed. It's a great sampler if you want to start off and try out my service for 3 days and nights. How about a little bit of a longer term package? How about a 1 month with an instant $100 discount? A 30-day is normally $299. Nope, it's only $199 this month right now with no promo code needed. And if that's not good enough, let's make it better. 10 more days included for free. I'm throwing in a 3-day and a 7-day pass as well. So it's 40 days for not even the price of 30 because you're getting a $100 discount on top of that. So 40 days with an additional $100 discount. Wow, what a great offer. No promo code needed. Or the best offer, the best value is the 1-year all access because you get every play for every sport every day. All of next year's college and pro football seasons, all of next year's college basketball season, all of next year's NBA regular season into the playoffs, the rest of this year's playoffs, the rest of this year's baseball into next year's baseball. You get the point. I'm getting so excited. 365 days all access with over an $800 instant discount and a bonus 25% coupon gets it down to about $1 a play. Wow. $1 a play. Think about that. Daily plays are $25. You can get everything for the next year for about $1 a play. That's like a 96% discount off the normal daily rate. That is how you take a true investment approach and build your bankroll consistently. Check it out right now. And it doesn't matter if you get 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year. Everybody's getting the same plays I'm personally using each day, my personal best bets, and it's always been that way since I started 30 years ago, the summer of August of 1996. That's right, my 30th anniversary is coming up this August as a full-time professional sports bettor and handicapper. Pearls, the traditional gift. Merle the Pearl, how appropriate. How about diamonds, the modern gift? That's pretty damn appropriate as well. Don't miss out. I've been doing this since 1996, full-time, every day of my life. And if I'm using a play, my clients get it. My strong best bets for Monday night are posted right now for both the NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball. Plus that bonus free play for Monday. Go get it. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Follow me on social media as well, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And don't forget, if you're watching this on your mobile device, click that hype button. The like is nice, but the hype is great as well. Click the hype, smash that like button, comment below, like and subscribe, and click the bell for instant alerts. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you also know there's more free play videos coming up next.